Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Sure thing. Alava, Avalon, Bell Acres, Bellevue, Van Adam, Edgeworth, Hemsworth, Glen Osborne,
Here.
Glenfield, Hayesville,
Here.
Hillbuck,
Here.
Wheatsdale, Sewickley, Sewickley Heights. Share the screen if everyone can just confirm on Zoom that you guys can see the screen.
Yep.
Are there any public comments to be made or guests present? If not, I'll ask for a motion, and on this motion to the approval of November 17th, 2021 minutes, income statement, balance sheet, and everything else that goes along with. Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. President's report. John, do you have anything? John Sebastian, do you have anything you'd like to report tonight?
Not really. I think Patrick has all it covered, so we've been talking in the last few days, so nothing to add.
Okay, then we'll leave it up to Patrick.
Okay, so we'll hop into the executive director's report and just to it. And just to highlight real quick for the financials, everything's pretty much on target with the exception of our administrative reimbursement from the county. I just submitted a cost report this afternoon, so that should be processed in the next few weeks. They've been pretty slow and delayed down there, just from short staffing and things related to being off work for COVID. So, I would anticipate getting those payments probably in the first quarter of next year. So the budget would reflect a shortfall in that for 2021, but next year we're going to have way more. So it's going to all equal out. Other than that, everything's pretty spot on. Try to run a pretty slim operation. Rent's way down year over year. Having our office in Hillbuck, costs for running the office are pretty slim. Just with everything being digital, there's very little need for paper, very little postage. So it's really good in that regard. Be happy to answer questions on that. But real quick for the executive director's report, we'll go over this in the packet, but we established some meeting dates, keeping the same format, third Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m. Also have some locations listed in the packet to speak of in a few minutes. Secretary and managers meetings, we actually just spoke to this today at our meeting. So it looks like the information here is going to be a little off. So we're going to be switching from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, just giving all those managers time to get in the office and get themselves settled before they come to the meeting. Got some feedback that participation and attendance was down just because people were trying to get their office open. It was just hard to get there by 9 o'clock. So we're going to shift that back a little bit and also be one location as opposed to bouncing around with those meetings. So we're going to be at the Emsworth Borough Building at 10 a.m. on the fourth Wednesday. We'll also do our meeting out until allow that flexibility there. But I got feedback. Hopefully this gets the attendance up a little bit. And obviously it's not set in stone. There's no rules about those meetings, so we can move around as best to get everyone to attend and participate. We also had our GIS roundtable today. We had 5 or 6 people attend. Seemed to be really productive. Whenever some changes in that software package, purchasing and things associated with it. So again, that's quarterly. Keep an eye out for emails. We'll probably have one in the spring next year. We'll just continue the discussion that we had today. Also, Glen Osborne, Glenfield, and Hayesville met with the Sewickley Borough to discuss a joint lease sort of agreement and bid that they're looking to have. So just increase traffic enforcement along Route 65 and, more of a police presence in Glenfield and Hayesville. Amy, would you want to add anything to that to sort of highlight what the reasoning and what you guys are looking to have in this discussion?
No, not too much. I think you summarized it well. We with the help of Patrick, drafted the letter. We had our meeting last night. All council members were in favor of it, and we will get it submitted in January, hopefully. Glenfield had their meeting on Monday. They had the same basic conclusion. So we certainly are looking to improve the safety and the police presence along 65, especially at that light where Beaver meets 65, because we have accidents what feels like daily there. So we are definitely going to make that a key focus for the coming year, and we're hopeful being able to move forward with local police.
Yep, so looking forward to seeing those discussions with those municipalities. I think we really made some progress in our meeting in November. Last Route 65 study, so that's going to be wrapping up. Shortly, we'll have Ray speak to this, but we'll go into further detail shortly.
New business, Route 65 presentation.
Ray, would you want to take that away and speak on this real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You can all hear me? Everything good?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Just wanted to say it's in the notes, you'll see it there, but on Wednesday, January 26th, we're going to be there. Michael Baker, Remaking Cities from Carnegie Mellon, and all the people that worked with you on the Route 65 work are going to be there to present the results, or where we are with this the Route 65 Ohio River Boulevard Corridor Study. Everyone's welcome. Some of you here participated in the workshops that we had earlier this year. And we're really fortunate that, thanks to Patrick and everyone, that we're going to be able to have this in a live and at Sewickley Public Library at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January 26th. And basically all I want to say tonight, because you have a busy meeting, is that if you want to know more about this, the best place to go is online to the 65 Corridor, www.65corridor.org. And that's where, and it's in some announcements and so forth that you've been getting, but that's where you can find the overall picture of what this is about. You can actually see the report when you go to the Strategic Design Guide document, which has a lot of detail about telling you about what went on in the workshops and what we gleaned from that, as well as some other ways of studying, and really looking from basically the sort of what was the Ohio River Boulevard, up to Rochester, that kind of portion, and the workshops that were at Emsworth and Ambridge. The types of things that came out of it are really all kind of in the realm of looking for ways that how the community asked for like a cleaner, greener, safer 65, which, the safety issue came up earlier, and the types of, physical interventions, and some of them are very much roadway design kind of issues of like pocket lanes and so forth, but other ones are more like sort of gateways and so forth, more about identity. And what we it's sort of about, it's what we're trying to discuss with you all is the way this could lead to next steps, from that are incrementally towards actually getting PennDOT support for some of these improvements, and how you would do that, and how municipalities could work together, as well as the individual kind of asks and so forth, and how that could work out. So we'll be there. There's a lot of depth of experience and knowledge about transportation and mobility and urban design kind of stuff with the team. And we really look forward to having this interaction with you all in January, not a little more than a month from now.
Yeah, and as Ray said, thank you, Ray, for that. Just to highlight, the board's going to get, like you said, a summarized version of this, right, on January 19th. So the whole crew will be here from Carnegie Mellon, Michael Baker, just to summarize that into like a 15 or 20-minute presentation. Just acknowledging that the QVCOG has been a pretty big role in this. I wanted to make sure you guys got first crack at it in a more summarized version. If you guys want to go into further detail, I encourage you to come the next week at the Sewickley Public Library. So, I'll obviously keep you in the loop, and thank you, Ray, for being able to.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to you all. I look forward to seeing you in January.
In the meantime, I'd like to point out that the full report is available on our website. It's fantastic. I didn't get enough time to finish it, but just the quality is outstanding. So I encourage people to just download it. It's a really great document.
Next on the agenda is approval of 2022 meeting dates and location. Patrick sent the information out. As far as the dates, are we working on locations or?
Yeah, I have it set, so we'll
Okay.
scroll down here. Yeah, so the list is, we already got you guys on board, so here's the slate. So Elite Sales in April, QVCOG January, February is Avalon, March is Elite, Bell Acres is May, Ludlow is going to be June, Swiftly Public Library in July, Swiftly Borough in August, Ben Abbott is going to be September, Amazon or Edgeworth is going to be October, Bellevue is going to be November, and then Edgeworth is going to close us down in December.
Motion to approve and advertise these meetings locations. Second. Move in second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion's
Aye.
carried.
Next up is the Local Government Academy this winter.
Okay, would you like to present what you're planning to do with it?
Yeah. So the Local Government Academy's Municipal Intern Program consists of, basically it matches undergraduate and graduate level students with real world experience working in local government. Eligible placement sites include municipalities, councils of governments, and municipal authorities in southwestern Pennsylvania. Each year, this program allows those organizations to apply with a 50-50 match. So the Local Government Academy contributes half of the wages, and the municipality or crowd would contribute the other half. So more or less, our proposal, and this has sort of been hashed out with Ms. Joy Ruff from the Local Government Academy, and she thought it was a favorable application. So in order to better connect with member communities and organizations within the region, QVCOG is seeking selections 2022 with this intern host site in order to secure a talented individual to serve as his first ever member liaison. So upon arrival, the intern will receive a comprehensive training on the topic of council government, intergovernmental collaboration efforts. And then the intern will also be working with me directly and municipal staff with volunteers being on member communities. And that's something that I would encourage those who are seeking to help out with this project that a couple of days where they've just been working at locations. They will be working directly with their staff as well as me. And more or less, we'd be building strategic planning efforts that be asked to engage with other COGs and like-minded organizations to sort of benchmark what we do compared to what they do, and just sort of strategically plan and build up a game plan for 2022 and beyond. And also with various other things like a recycling performance grant and helping us out with the website and interaction with our webpage. Little things like that would also be done, but the main thing is strategic planning and helping us engage and communicate with our member communities. Again, the project objectives build upon community engagement, increase member awareness of existing programs, establish a strategic plan, and engage with prospective members. We have an associate membership opportunity that we really haven't pursued too much, but I think this would be a really cool opportunity to reach out to parks and different organizations to help build up that associate membership opportunity within our organization and assist with various other projects. So the costs, so the interning is included between 400 and 480 hours of work during the program. This happens in the summer during their summer breaks. The internship requires that undergraduate students are paid $11 an hour, with graduate students being paid $12 an hour. Now this works. I've had a couple of these interns, and I was one of these interns, a handful of years ago. And there's a conference, usually either Carnegie Mellon or Pitt, and you basically meet all these interns if you're selected as a potential post site, and you just find a good fit. You find an intern that's interested in your plan, and you interview them, and if there's like-minded interest with that intern, you can hire. So, I don't have a preference. I just think it's a good fit either way with undergraduate or graduate students. It's just, you just got to find the right fit. So these applications are going to be accepted and due next month. It's not up yet, but it's going to be due in January. So I wanted to get approval for this So when the application process happens, I can put it together. So the grant would be the half of the wages are paid by the parent. So it's going to range, anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000. Oh, sorry. The approximate with payroll tax and everything is about $6,000 that we would pay with the other $6,000 being paid from the Academy. And that can vary because you have 80 hours of the minimum, there are hours. But we budgeted for it, so it's to
Anybody else have any questions about the program?
Again, just to clarify, this is something that we've approved in our budget, correct?
Yes, sir.
Somebody make a motion, please, to authorize Patrick to submit the application.
So moved.
Second? Second. Been moved and seconded. We've had discussion, but if there's any more, please speak up. If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Next up is the annual report. Just to sort of encapsulate what we did in the 2020 year, I put together an annual report. I think it's something that's been done in the past. I don't know the last couple of years, but 17 and 18, I know that there was one produced, and I wanted to continue that trend. So I just put together this document for everyone. I don't want to take up too much time with it just because it's available. And some of the highlights just goes over our background, highlights a couple of the new faces in the COG this year, talks about the site visits that we went out and tried to meet as many member communities as possible this year. Just did one on Monday, actually, about Lakers. So talks about our hybrid meetings and the meeting owl technology that's integrated into our meetings. Some of the ongoing programming, like our proactive code enforcement program, our GIS workshops we have, our zoning technical assistance program. Just a brief summary of all those programs. I definitely encourage you to take a look at that. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. Talks about the return to police chiefs meetings, and we're going to try to have another one of those in either January or February with a tour of the county 911 system. We're going to try to have that, sooner, but it turns out that they were hit pretty hard with COVID, so they shut down all in-person tours. But as soon as that gets opened back up, I'd love to have one of those for our chiefs. Also talks about our shared interactive zoning map. Again, that's live, up and running. 12 out of 15 towns have their data up with that. It's a really, really neat tool. I definitely encourage everyone here and their staff to take a look at that. It can help cut back on call volume, really help the residents out a lot with zoning questions, things associated with that. Talks about our annual dinner. Also the new waste and recycling agreement that we have established for a lot of our member communities. Talks about the glass pop-up events, our hard to recycle event that happened at Quaker Valley High School. Also the recycling performance grant, which we're right in the middle of applying for right now. Also our CBD projects, our community development block grant projects for both year 46, which is 2020, and year 47, which is 2021. Just the different projects that we did. And this paragraph I can't emphasize enough. So every community that's a member community can apply for a community development block grant. So these applications will be in summertime towards the end of September next year. Two things that everyone can apply for with no income threshold at all: light remediation and ADA accessibility. So a lot of times these are sort of built into engineers and municipalities we've got in the past. They just apply every year. I want to make sure that all the members know that you guys can apply for this. There's all other projects, obviously, that are more tied to income surveys for low and moderate income portions of neighborhoods. And again, everyone can apply for that too. It just requires a little more time and effort into it. But please, 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 in the summertime, reach out to me. I want to make sure that everyone that's a member gets an opportunity to apply for these grants. And that just kind of closes up with some of our 2022 goals.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions of Patrick in the year-end report?
So I just wanted to talk about our glass recycling discussions. We'll continue that from last month. So one of the main things that members and residents bring up time and time again is, what do we do with our glass? We took that out of our single stream recycling contracts, and that's not just the QVCOG, it's pretty universal throughout the region here. So people are starting to develop strategies and solutions, and one of the solutions I want to bring here is the establishment of at least one test site for all of our members, right? And this would be something that we're developing a location as we speak. I have 4 or 5 towns I've met with that reached out to me on this. They want to wait until January to sort of finalize that. And then once those locations are sort of thrown into the hat, I want to come back next month and say, here's our 4 or 5 locations. Here's a specific location within the municipality. Here's what they're going to do to keep it secure. And we'll just pick one of those 4 or 5 once it's on the roster. But I don't want to throw anyone out there until they officially do it. And it looks like a lot of these boards changing. January is going to be there. So, come January, February, I hope to have this finalized as far as the cost for municipality and a location. So really excited about that. It's been a long time coming here. And again, this is going to be a 25-yard dumpster, holds between 4 and 6 tons of glass. It's going to run about $400 a pool. That's going to be round trip. They pick one up, drop it off. And this is going to be all different types of glass, multicolored, brown, green, everything. We're estimating 2 pools per month. So, it's going to range anywhere from $500 to $600 annually for the average cost per municipality, which is going to be a heck of a lot more efficient than the pop events we've had in the past, or $750 for 5 days of usage. So, really excited for this. Again, more details to come. Stay tuned.
To clarify, cost, what the cost is for, how many sites, one site?
One site to start. So the goal, and this is all flexible. I think we're talking about this in the managers meeting today. This is going to be dependent on buying. So this cost in the packet reflects, let me zoom in here. It reflects if every one of the 15 members buys it, right? So if half as many communities buy into this, the prices are going to go up by 2 times. So it really depends on the buy, and hoping that we get as much buy as possible. The COG is also contributing to this financially. About 12% of the cost is going to be the COG every month, and we're starting all the upfront costs as far as the delivery and installation of signage. So this anticipates 1 dumpster, 1 location for now, and 2 pools of that dumpster based on the PRC usage from the public. Now, I think the goal would be by the end of the year to have 2, sort of 1 on each side of the COG, and hopefully that it spreads out the usage, so we wouldn't see too much more than there's 2 pools per month, just because the usage is spread throughout the COG as opposed to concentrated. But yeah, so the costs are all reflected in this breakdown. Again, this is reliant on everyone participating. I hope that everyone does, but we'll have some more details as far as the locations.
I have a ton of glass that I just have to take somewhere. It's overflowing in my house, so I went to Ross Township to drop it in there. We did have, I was just there 2 days ago, there were some PRC like signage that was placed up. But I noticed that it said for use by Ross and Westby. And I'm obviously not there. I thought PRC was open to all people from anywhere. So would this be open just to COG members, or is it for everyone?
Yeah, so the intention would definitely be for Quaker Valley COG residents, but like I said, people are going to use it. It would be way too much of a resource strain to just try to officiate that.
No, you're not going to enforce it, but like the sign, with the sign saying it was for Ross and Westby only was confusing to me, because I always thought the PRC mission was to make it available to everyone. So I was confused about whether or not I was allowed to use that.
They probably, they're the ones that are financially backing it, so they're backing it for.
Yeah.
Franklin Park also has. They do strictly cardboard glass. And it is PRC set up as the blue dumpster. I've never been to the glass. It's probably because they're backing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and as a side note, that thing was full. It was huge. I was shocked by how much glass was in there.
Oh, that's 6 tons of glass.
Yeah.
That's a lot of glass.
Do you have to separate it there, or does dark, green, everything go in the same?
All together.
They separated the site. So you can start.
There was glass on the ground. It was it wasn't excessive, but I had to be careful that I didn't step on glass that would go through my shoe. So I was surprised by that. I did not see that swiftly when we just had our 1 week event. We didn't see glass on the ground like that. But right, it was just, so it did seem like it needed, I was surprised to see that. I thought, oh yeah, you would need someone from Public Works here or something
Yeah.
daily to make sure that it's safe.
Yeah, so that's sort of like the discussion we're gonna have here with those locations that volunteer. Some of the responsibility for that host community is just keeping an eye on it and making sure it's on the flow, because if it is, that's when the glass is gonna start to be set outside of it, people don't want to bother it. So whenever that happens, the host community just calls me, and Michael Brothers Hall gets it picked up within 48 hours, and most of the time it's the same thing. So as it starts to get to that 90–95% threshold, the host community gives me a call, we'll get switched out, shouldn't be too bad. But it also needs to be monitored, just to make sure people aren't using it, dropping things off in our class. Benefit to the host community, obviously your residents don't need to drive it. The pros and cons are there for everyone, so hopefully everyone said they're interested, continues to be interested. So that's all I have. And there's the dumpsters. Okay, next up is approval of the waste recycling communication policy. So last month we talked about this at length, and I think this is pretty much just to finalize that discussion. So more or less, we are looking to establish a clear policy with our staff and the COG and waste management. And this outlines that for everyone. So there's 2 points of contact that I've been asked to distribute to everybody. Sent this out and I'll send it out again as far as those email addresses. Every complaint and every sort of violation that waste management has needs to be through email. We don't want to have phone calls because we can't prove that. So with this policy, there is a contract deposit fund that's established, $20,000 waste management needs to annually fulfill. And that gets distributed, assuming that they slip up or mess up. There's a tiered system, and I can zoom to that here. That's listed here. So commencement collections prior to the established times, falsely or excessively rejecting clean recyclables, not picking up waste or recycling as established in the contract. And obviously there's a time period here. So if they miss it and you call, it's not like you're going to get that money right away. It's if they don't fulfill that 24-hour obligation after they're notified. So this is all available. This is going to be sent out as soon as this is finalized. And the policy is pretty basic here. So, one, all liquid damages, fines, and emissions outlined within section 1500, which we just went over. The aforementioned agreement shall be adopted into this policy. 2, if a resident or customer issues a complaint to the participating municipality, it shall be the responsibility of the participating municipality to report the issue to the select caller, waste management. It shall be the responsibility of the QVCOG to report complaints, it shall not be the responsibility of the QVCOG to report complaints and service issues to the hauler. That's going to be the municipality. 4, each service issue shall be brought to the select caller's attention through email. QVCOG shall annually provide participating municipalities with up-to-date contact information. After the matter has been brought to the attention of the select caller, participating municipalities will submit documentation through email to QVCOG. If the service issue is not remedied within the stated amount of time as prescribed within the agreement, participating municipality may request liquidated damages as outlined in the agreement. 5, using the contract deposit fund, the QVCOG shall issue payments once every other month, 6 times annually, directly to the participating municipalities. 6, QVCOG should be reimbursed for fees and charges associated with liquid damages payments through the contract deposit fund, such as with our bill.com, there's a fee every time we distribute a payment. We would then take those fees out of the contract deposit fund to compensate for them. 7, should the participating municipality neglect not to enforce a penalty for any given offense on any given date or time, it shall not remove the ability of the participating municipality to enforce such a penalty in the future. More or less, this policy is only going to be as effective as the communication between a member of municipalities, the COG, and waste management. If the staff isn't reaching out to me to notify me, there's no way for me to relay those penalties and compensations. So number 7 is, I think, really important. If for the first few years or months, no one communicates, but then they start to, that doesn't void that contract, right? We can always get them eventually. if things flatten. But this is brand new. Nothing like this in the region, to my knowledge, has ever been enforced. So I'm really excited to sort of have a test case here and see how it works. If what we have here doesn't work, we'll revise it and make it work until it does, right? So be happy to answer your questions.
So you obviously met with Waste Management and they're on board with this whole policy. It's gonna be fun.
Yep. I think they're just sort of in a wait and see mode too. I don't know if they expect to see that $20,000 again, or if they just thought that was the cost of doing business. But hopefully the ears perk up a little bit. They get this one.
If you're able to present photo evidence, is that fine? It just happened in Enfield. I was going down the main street, Waste Management's come up the other, they threw a couple bags of peanut styrofoam in, of course they crushed them, went all over the street, the guys just kept going. I thought the perfect time to get a picture of those guys leaving the site, and they just never picked them up.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those
Okay.
highlighted infractions. So again, everything has to be through email, and photos never hurt. And fines and things are associated.
Especially with the truck.
And I also included a spreadsheet that just sort of outlines what we'll send to Waste Management for each.
Anybody else have any other questions? A motion to accept this policy and put it in place beginning January 1st of next year?
So moved.
Would you mind seconding? That'd be all right?
Sure.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Oh, man. Okay, and now last up is the community block development grant status report. More or less everything is really starting to move along here. The county's been really on me to get a lot of these cost reports submitted to close out some of these things for the end of the year. So I think everything is submitted to their life in that regard. So we should be getting paid for one of these projects and then in turn paying contractors that are doing work. Two of the projects that we put out to bid in the coming weeks, Leedsdale Borough, no, we already put those out. So the two that are outstanding that need to go out to bid in the coming year are Bellevue for a retaining wall and then a blight remediation project. Everything else is either put out to bid or will be opened up in the coming weeks. So, so far so good. I think it's been a really interesting experience. I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with CDBG programs before, but the last 6 months have been pretty comprehensive.
Good. Good. That's what we said.
Just have one quick question, Patrick. So you talked about this earlier, but just give us just like an overview of financially where we stand. We're wrapping up the year. You said that we're missing a check from the county. What about the other line items on the budget? Are we in good shape there?
Yeah. I mean, not being the one who facilitated the budget, it's almost eerie how close everything lined up. So the only thing that really stuck out to me as far as being down or up, more than 15 or 20% is going to be that administrative reimbursement from the county. And again, we just applied for $10,392 to be paid out to the COG with that cost report. John Sebastian just signed off on this afternoon, so that'll be sent. It has been sent to the county, so we usually get paid between 4 and 6 weeks after that. So that's going to be a nice chunk of money that's thrown right back in the budget. Again, this is going to be the first month of 2022. One of the other things that I think wasn't foreseen was the cost of office supplies. I did purchase a new computer and a meeting out. Obviously, I don't think that was something that was foreseen last fall the budget was created. So those two things stand out. Other than that, it's like clockwork. All of those things are right on the money as far as salaries, as far as office rent, things like that. So.
Awesome.
If there's any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer.
So we're going to need to purchase a new laptop, right, for the intern?
Yeah. So with that application, if we are selected as host community, we'll find out probably March at the latest. I would like to move forward in purchasing a new laptop for that intern, just to make it a little more flexible for them, especially with this project being, you know, a lot of satellite. One week it might be an NBA, it could be secondly. So I feel like having a desktop is just not really how that's going to work. So picking up a laptop by $600 would be one of our goals, and that's budgeted budget next year. But I wouldn't move forward with that unless we actually use that hosted site. So I'm optimistic on that, you know, just from having those discussions with Joy, that it's made by a board and all the applications are done. So I'll make it as competitive and detailed as I can without giving away who we are.
Any other questions? There's no other questions in public comment. Move for adjournment. Second. Second. We're adjourned. Hope everybody has a safe holiday and a good New Year.
Wow.
So if I can just make a short announcement. So it's not news to anybody that I've been connected remotely in the last couple of months, and, you know, the dinner and everything. So it's related to some of the consulting work I'm doing in New York City. So I've been thinking about this long and hard, and I'm thinking it's a little bit unfair to our organization if I were to run for president of the COG next year. So I just wanted to, you know, be upfront and have you guys decide who, if this is a role that you would like to play in the COG. I think we're in good situation. I mean, Patrick's doing an outstanding job, as you've seen, financially and all the programs. So if you know, if you feel that you can take this role, it would just be fantastic. I will be a delegate. I will be here to help and assist and the best that I can. But again, the presidency is, I felt, something that would kind of derail a little bit my presence and everything. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, John. Thank you for all the years you put into this. It's been a lot of work you put into it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, everyone.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to all.
Yes, thank you everyone for attending tonight, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays as well. That's a safe and enjoyable holiday season.
Happy holidays, everybody. See you in the new year.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye. See you in the